So, hello. We have
Hi,
Adrienne Jeffries here, and this little one. What's your little one's name?
this is Finnan. If you hear some noises, that's just him. He's talking too.
Oh, hi, Finnan. How cute. Oh, I bet you he loves being real close to you.
He usually puts them to sleep, so here's to hoping, but we'll see.
Oh, go night night. Go to sleep.
Yeah,
Wendy will bore him enough that he will.
right.
That's great. So, I'm so glad to finally meet you. Obviously, it's not face to face, but kind of, sort of face to face. But um, just really excited to get to know you a little bit and find out what you're doing with yourself, and how you're looking to collaborate. And I know it sounds like you have a lot of ideas and stuff, and you're just trying to figure out how to, like a lot of us, how to narrow that down and start working on something and going from there. But what part of the country do you live in? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was just gonna say I call it shiny object syndrome. Everything sounds exciting and just gotta narrow down what directions to go. But we currently live in Maryland. I'm a military spouse, but I'm from Georgia originally. But we've lived kind of up and down the East Coast so far.
I grew up in Maryland.
Oh, cool.
I
What
lived
part?
lived there most of my life. Baltimore, in the county.
Okay, yeah.
Baltimore County. Yeah, I went to University of Maryland and whatnot. So
Great.
that's
That's awesome.
awesome. And Georgia's beautiful too. Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, maybe we can, support each other and talk about, what some of your interests are, and we can help each other kind of narrow down our focus, because I
Yeah.
have so many big ideas too, and can't do it all at one time. But working on ourselves and working at like one thing at a time, and I believe from there things will start to expand and grow for all of us, honestly. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited for the
Yeah.
energy that we all have and that we're bringing to our group. And so anyway, one of the questions I asked in the group when you signed up for the meet and greet was, what is your superpower? And you said, my empathy and compassion and ability to sit in the darkness of the soul with others.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. I think really, and I think I've heard other people talk about this before, but it was almost came out of nowhere. When I was a freshman in high school, my adoptive dad passed away, and it was just like this compassion welled up out of nowhere. I'm gonna stand up just for his sake, but it was kind of this well that I didn't even know was there. And it was kind of overwhelming at first. And so I've been learning what that is. And I think I'm probably a highly sensitive person and an empath, and just learning to work with that and what it means. But as a therapist, it serves me really well to be compassionate and empathetic, and actually have a tramp stamp tattoo that says compassion. So
Tramp stamp. Listen,
yeah.
Hey, by the way, I got compassion for you. What's going on?
Right. Yeah.
That's funny right there.
Right.
I love it.
Yep. So, but it's what I consider to be my superpower, and I think I'm really good at sitting in the darkness and the hard parts of people's life and being in that moment. It's hard, but somebody needs to be there for people in those dark spots. And if that's my gift, I can do that. And I was thinking just today, because I was at the salon and thinking about how what they do is hard on their body, but what we do is really hard on our mind and our soul. And I was thinking about how I feel like I'm strong in those ways though. Whereas I think if I had constant body pain, it would be a different story. I might struggle more. I don't know. It's interesting. Not that I don't struggle emotionally, but it's interesting.
Yeah. So it's almost like you feel like you have the internal gifts of being able to hold
Right.
space, and you have that internal strength to to
Right.
withstand. Yes, absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
important because,
Mm.
you know, some people can't do that. I think some people get into the profession and they get burned out, and,
Right.
you know, and especially if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yes, for
You know,
sure.
we
Yeah.
as you know, I hate labels. Everybody knows I hate labels, but we, you know, who are in the in a healing profession, whatever that is,
Right.
you really have to take care of yourself, and you have to do the work on yourself
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And
Completely.
so, can you don't have to go into much detail, but I'm really curious. You know, have you done a lot of your own like healing through the years? I mean,
Yeah.
you were adopted, and you had someone close
Yeah.
to you pass away unexpectedly, maybe. And so I was wondering if maybe that is kind of what also prepared you for that like
Yeah.
compulsion
He
that came through for you.
he was he was what I would call emotionally abusive as well. And so I think that definitely plays a role in kind of my niche now. I really love working with specifically women, but really anybody who's in toxic relationships, or dealing with codependent stuff, and trying to get away from narcissistic type behavior. But I definitely think several things that have happened in my life. Going on mission trips was really what got me into the field of social work. I knew I wanted to help people. It all really started in high school. Um, we were supposed to go to Nicaragua for a mission trip, and instead 9/11 happened. So we stayed in the Atlanta area, and we were supposed to make sandwiches for the homeless. And I didn't want to make sandwiches. I wanted to sit down and talk with them. I wanted to hear their story. I wanted to share with them. And I went back every summer and did that. And it was just so like fulfilling for me.
Love it.
But I think it does. Just traumatic things that happen to you and that you rise up from really shape who you are and help you learn to sit in those dark places and be able to be there and relate to other people.
Absolutely. And that ends up being your gift that you can give back. You're talking, you're making my feet and hands vibrate, my chi. It's like I can feel. It's
I
like,
hope that's a good thing.
what?
But I hope that's a good thing.
Well, you know Reiki, right? I mean, you said you practice Reiki?
A little bit.
Yeah, well, that's what
I
I
haven't.
mean. It's like,
Okay.
I don't know, like I'm just connecting to your energy, and hearing you talk about your story is making making my chi flow. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. um, yeah, okay. So was there any tools or anything that you used at that time when that compassion, well, you were in high school, so you probably weren't in the business yet, you weren't in the profession yet, but you knew your your parent had passed away.
Mhm.
You said it just kind of came to you automatically. Was that through the process of you really just trying to look for forgiveness and understanding, maybe like why he was the way he was, do you think? Or like, I'm just curious.
Honestly, the forgiveness side of things did not come until much later after I had graduated with my bachelor's and went to therapy myself, when I was working through my master's, actually. And it was something I thought I'd never got closure on because he just, passed away. And as a high schooler, I didn't step up and say anything. I don't know what caused it to just come out at that point. It was just like almost this wave of feeling for other people. And it was like it just released in me. And I really don't think I was that compassionate of a person before that. It took this
I got goosebumps. Yeah. I think
monumental event.
I think it's kind of like your gifts get released somehow in
Right.
situations. And maybe, I don't know, what his death and his passing up. I mean, it could be that he left a blessing, he blessed you or something. I don't understand it either completely. These are the
Right.
things that make me go,
Right.
But there's definitely something that happened. And one of my mentors and coaches, actually, she's in our group, but she's not active in our group. She's amazing. She teaches me that like when we work on our inner child work, you actually open up your ancestral gifts. They come through. Every time you heal, you open up more of your ancestral gifts. So
Interesting.
yeah. So that's a gift. The gift of compassion is amazing. I love that.
Can I tell something along those lines that just brings up for me, which is also a really strange kind of woo-woo experience? Was I was doing my EMDR training this past year, and something about EMDR really like puts me in a spiritual place.
Oh yeah.
And I heard my birth mother, and I've never met the woman. She died actually the same year as my adoptive father. So I've never met this woman, but I heard a voice in my head that said, like, it was encouraging, and it was like, keep going. And I just knew it was her, but I have no reason to know that.
That's
It was
wild.
very, very strange.
That's
So
yeah. So she was in part giving that message to you as well. Wow.
yeah,
Well,
encouraging me.
yeah, it sounds like you're on the right path, honestly.
Yeah.
And EMDR did the same thing for me. I'll tell you a quick story, a short story too. Like that's where I where some of my gifts came into play. I was praying for my clients while they were processing with the eye scan, and you know, you're sitting like not in their eyesight, and I'm sitting here with my pen and paper taking notes while they're processing. And I have always been spiritual. I was under you know, I was considered myself Christian, and so I really wasn't completely open to other spiritual ideals and information and everything, you know. So I was praying, and I was just asking, you know, praying in my mind. I didn't even know I was praying, just praying for the Holy Spirit to come into the space, into the room, to assist them in healing. And all of a sudden my hands started to vibrate. And my feet started to like vibrate and tingle and get hot. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but you know, my heart was really open, and it was just like, I had to put my pen and paper down, and I just went like this, like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And so that's that's how my journey with Reiki started. Although I think that there are other healing modalities like quantum touch and different things like that. Well, my grandmother she passed away probably about 10 years ago. And she used to scare the heck out of me because she used to lay hands and heal. And she used to talk in tongues. And that was totally against my beliefs at the time. So I didn't want anything to do with it. But she would grab me, you know, and put her hands on me and pray on me and tell me, oh, it's the Holy Spirit. Just wait. It's the truth. It's the truth. But she was from Virginia, and she was very poor, uneducated. And I never really connected with her when she was alive, but I feel her presence way more now. And so obviously, yeah. So EMDR, definitely, I do feel like it was a turning point for me in the work that I did as well. And so I'm looking forward to figuring out how we can still utilize that, maybe in a coaching perspective, and how we can, yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful. Yes.
Well, that's fascinating. I love that story. Thank you for sharing that. Love to hear more about that sometime too. Let's see, what else was I going to ask you? So you said some of the things that you need, that you feel like you need, is to figure out how to bring all of the information that you have and the training that you have together, and figure out how to start using that in a way that overlaps and is inclusive of all those modalities, and just right? And
yeah,
is that right? Okay.
Where to go and what to do first. And I actually did sign up for my first business mastermind the other day, so I'm super excited about that. And you know, I have sometimes contemplated, should I be in this field? Should I be doing something different? But I do feel called to do this. And I feel like it is, like you said, kind of my gift and something I can do. Sometimes I'm envious of people who have a talent or a like visible skill. Like just stand up and start singing. I feel like it's not that, but I do think I'm going to lean a little heavily on coaching and going that direction some more. I've noticed a trend of people in our field who feel artistic, but have put that on the back burner or haven't fully developed it, but feel there's something kind of welling up where they want to use this artistic side more. And so I think that could be work. Because I think so many of us who are artistic or creative and put that down, our mental health ends up suffering.
Absolutely, I agree. I think it's important to have balance, because I believe that when we tap into that that artistic and creative aspects of ourselves, that we are bringing in the divine feminine energy. Yeah. And we need to balance the divine feminine with the divine masculine. And of course, also as people in the mental health profession, we also tend to give more than we receive.
Right.
And so really having balance of being able to be receptive and getting the support that we need, taking care of ourselves, and having balance there as well. And so, with a side note though, another a new friend that I met, and she's in our group as well. Her name is Karen, with a C, and she's got a website. It's called On the Go Talent, and she's doing amazing work. She is she's a dancer, she's a performer, she's a singer, and so she is bringing in people to, to help them kind of tap into some of their artistic abilities and creativity too. So you're welcome to join that group. I'm sure she'd love you. She's amazing. Hopefully she joins our Zoom call today. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're planning on joining that, but I hope you have time. Good. I hope she joins too. But you can connect with her. And so, so it's really interesting when I hear you say that, because I'm like, she is the perfect person to kind of bridge the gap for those kind of, hi, baby. Oh, you want to go tonight? Am I talking too loud?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, so you said you're joining a business mastermind? Awesome. So you feel like that it sounds like you really need some of the business, support as well, to know how to like bring your business to people and market it. I'm doing the same thing. I joined a group with Martha Craigie, and I'm still kind of digging into it right now, but she used to work for GoDaddy, and so she is a guru for social media and all that stuff. She's also focusing on helping people streamline all their different gifts and services, and to monetize them in a way and bring them together so you can have a home-based business. So there's people on there from all walks of life kind of doing this right now. And yeah, so if I can always share that information too. I think she has some free information on one of her group pages, but
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And so you also, some of your creative talents, you do some crafts, and is that right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to actually, before I opened my private practice, I was running an embroidery and like vinyl, like personalizing business. I've signed up for some cookie decorating classes. So I'm just kind of all over the place, but I love crafting. I like being creative. And I'm very interested in graphic design. I haven't learned a whole lot, but I've got some classes for that I'm looking to take on like Skillshare and stuff. So yeah.
Great. And so one of the things that you're super interested in, I think you said, is to help people who are coaches or in the mental health field who are maybe interested in community centers and did you mention something like that before too?
I said I'd like to open like a whole wellness center that focus completely on the person, all aspects.
Yes.
Like even having a kitchen and teaching people how to cook more healthfully, and like a gym and maybe a little reading nook and some tables where people can sit and converse, and share ideas, and Reiki, and maybe equine therapy. I mean, all the things I think
I
would
love
be.
it. You're making my feet vibrate again. Okay,
Over there.
so you're in the right place. We have got to stick together. We are
Yes.
in the right community. I just can't even believe how many of us have the same passion and same goals of really dreaming, even having dreams about the community centers where I can't wait. We're gonna do some great stuff. So I don't know that I really want to do it alone. I don't know that I want to like take on this all by myself. It's a lot of work, and I'm 50 and I'm getting tired. I'm ready to retire soon. You know, like I'm never gonna retire, but man, I just know that. What's that?
It's a lot to take on. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, but if everybody can has their little part, we could figure out, but maybe duplicate it and not just having one. But what if we trained other professionals and other people that were passionate about this, and we just gave them the tools that they needed to be able to duplicate a system like that, where, you know, I even see, you know, I've talked about this in, you know, a couple other the videos, but redundant, but I see us like coming up with a treatment model that people can heal themselves with, that they don't have to go to therapy for the rest of their life. And we can reach these people in their communities, people that don't have insurance, people that can't, you know, they don't have transportation, that, you know, we could duplicate all over the world, maybe, you know, that would be, of course, keeping in, you know, the fact that there's all kinds of cultural differences and stuff that we have to keep in mind with that. But
that would be amazing. I love that idea of going beyond the US border. Would be, such a dream.
Yeah,
I wasn't even thinking that big, but that's really inspiring.
Yes, it is. Well, there are people in our group who are from all over the world. I mean, Joanna is in Ecuador. And I've been chatting with her a little bit, and Beth Ann is in the UK, and you know, we have some other people in just, you know, different places. So I just hope we can build our community and continue to inspire each other and support each other, and maybe collaborate, you know, some collaborations really happening here. So I hope you're open. I have, sometimes I use tarot cards to, I really used them as a tool in the beginning because I was anti-tarot for a very long time. Any type of study or anything, I just, you know, felt really ashamed of looking at that stuff. And when I really opened up to other possibilities other than just my Christian upbringing, I started to look at tarot as a way for me to build my subconscious language, use of symbolism, things like that, and what that means to me. So it really has helped me deepen my intuition in a lot of ways. But I picked a card for you before we started. So this is one thing that I used to do with my clients all the time. And you can take, you know, from it however it speaks to you and interpret it in your own way. But I like the Osho Zen tarot. It's the one that I've been using lately. And the card that I picked for you is this one. Wait a minute. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's called
Experiencing.
It's experiencing. So there's like a woman, she's holding on to a tree. Okay. So I don't know what this means to you, but I'm a total nature buff. I love nature. I've worked a lot with nature energies and elementals, and it's been amazing. So I'm going to read this to you. An experience is something that can be filed away in a notebook or captured on film and pasted into an album. Experiencing is the feeling of wonder itself, the thrill of communion, the gentle touch of our connectedness with all that surrounds us. The woman in this card is not just touching this tree, she is in communion with it. She has almost become one with it. It is an old tree and has many hard times. Her touch is gentle, reverent, and the white on the inside of her cape reflects the purity of her heart. She is humble, simple, and that is the right way to approach nature. Nature doesn't bang any drums when it bursts forth into flower, nor play any dirges. What is a dirge? Is that like dirges? I don't know. When the trees let go of their leaves in the fall. But when we approach her in the right spirit, she has many secrets to share. If you haven't heard nature whispering to you already, now is a good time to give her the opportunity. You just look around, look into the eyes of a child or into the eyes of your beloved, your mother, your friend, or just feel a tree. Have you ever hugged a tree? Hug a tree, and one day you will come to know that is not only that you have hugged a tree, but that the tree also responds. The tree also hugs you. Then for the first time, you will be able to know that the tree is not just the form, it is not just a certain species that botanists talk about. It is an unknown God, so green in your courtyard, so full of flowers in your courtyard, so close to you, beckoning you, calling you again and again.
Wow, thank you.
You're
That made
welcome.
me get teary-eyed.
Aw,
I love that.
good, 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 good. Well, I know we have some other business to talk about. And so I want to thank you for spending this time with me so far, and look forward to sharing our video in our group so that others can get to know you as well. So
Thank
I'm
you.
going to end our video recording at this time, and yep. So
Thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
to talk to you.
You too. Bye-bye.